So this is the head unit I am installing. The goal of this upgrade for this particular car was to get rid of the base stereo and really just get to something that would pair and integrate with a smartphone. So ideally I wanted something with Apple Carplay. This radio, this head unit, is basically supposed to be just like the upgraded factory unit. So it came with this particular adapter in the box. Came with a set like instructions. And then here's the head unit itself. Another little adapter. Okay. So to remove the factory radio, as you can see, the radio is this large, like kind of proprietary size, which is why we're going to the unit that I'm installing. You could do, like if you wanted to go to an aftermarket single DIN or double DIN unit, they sell adapters that fill, fit this shape, fill the space for that kind of universal mount, but we're going for more of a OEM look in this particular car. So to get the radio out, we need to remove this piece of trim here, this piece of trim with the vents, and ultimately it starts with this large vent speaker looking thing on the top. Some of the cars have like I know the European cars have a storage like little bin here instead of this mesh, but we'll start with the top. So I'm going to use like my nylon pry tools. I have several. I've shown this kit before. I believe I've done a video about just reviewing the kit. I will put a link to this particular kit in the description below. I think I bought it off of Amazon. The first thing I'm going to do is pry out this little square back here. My little tool under it, prying, and be gentle, and it popped right out. So there's the first little black piece, pops out. Put that aside. So I just grabbed up and pulled up. There's tags. You can tell this looks like it's been broken off before because this tag was broken here. So that's that little mesh piece with the vent. With the vent cover removed, right in the center back here is a torque screw. And they're all T20s. So I am removing that. You're gonna pry on this section. This is like it's almost like the inner part of the vent. It clips into the back here. I kind of pull forward and lift it out. So that's that vent floor, if you will. This whole top section that covers the top of the radio needs to come out. There is a clip, like a spring-loaded clip right dead center. So if you put your pry tool in there, it kind of releases it. You can see it's already starting to let go. I'm gonna gently push in. There's plastic tabs here and there that lock it behind this piece. So that just freed up. As you can see, there's actually 2 additional T20 Torques holding this in. Right in the center there in this. Okay, so those are out. So now we're out. There we go. So now that the top's out and placed off to the side, you can see it exposed 2 more T20s. And what we're gonna do is take those out, remove this, and it should expose additional T20s, which are actually holding the head unit in. So far all these T20 screws are all exactly the same. So I'm not worried about, the length and making sure I have the right ones in the right places. Done. Okay, so I'm gonna come in with my pry tool and gently start on one side and work my way around this piece of trim. lucky here if you just heard that, just one clip popped. Work around the edge. And it's going, just gently. Working my way around. So having used the pry tool all the way around, it's still stuck right here at the top. Very gentle. There, came out. So there's that piece of trim. Put that up. It exposed 4 T20s to get the head unit out. And out she comes. So it's kind of wiggling it out, and out she comes. And there's really just these 3. Oh. Whenever you take a head unit out, just check if there's CDs in it. So yeah, then there's basically just these 2 or 3 pigtails. This one has 3 on the back. But that's how the factory unit comes out. It starts with removing, depending on what model you have, that tray or that top vent, which has 1 T20 Torx holding it in. Remove that, and then there's 2 T20 Torx holding in this top piece of trim, as well as various clips across the front. Using your non-marring tool, you remove that whole piece, move it to the side. And then that exposes 2 additional T20s, which are holding on this piece of trim, and you want to work your way around it very carefully with a non-marring prying tool. And that exposes the final 4 T20s that hold in the head unit, which were on these metal tabs. And then out she comes. So now you could install your aftermarket unit with like a fitting kit they usually sell, or like an adapter kit to fit, you know, the more generic DIN size head units. But I'm going to be installing basically the upgraded factory unit, so it should look like an OEM installation. To remove the factory unit, the big plug has like a clip at the bottom, like a tab, and then you actually have to rotate part of it up. So there. I'll actually show you that when I assemble the other one, but this was the bit large clip, and you can see there's this pivoting section of it. So what happens, you reach underneath, you unclip it, and push this backwards, and that unhooks the whole harness. So now I'm going to rotate this over, because the little clips that hold these guys on are on the bottom. And you pull on there's like a little translucent part on these adapters. You pull those up, and out comes the factory head unit. So this is supposed to be kind of a replica, or the equivalent of the factory RCD360. So this was like the upgraded head unit that the cars would have came with, that had, you know, the larger LCD screen, which supported you know, CarPlay, but navigation, that sort of thing. So fairly light, you know, it's kind of like I'm pretty sure these are like Chinese knockoffs of the originals. So that adapter plugs in there after you pick this clip up, and then you kind of put that down, I believe, and it cinches it in, and it latches very nicely. Okay, so let's hop in. So we're just gonna go easy. The white wire here is the antenna. Put that on. Done. Take this here adapter. Part of that clip. So, I mean, realistically, we should be able to test. No, I have it upside down. Let's test. Radio. It says, "Welcome to Volkswagen." Oh, that's promising. So I'm just seeking for, all right, I mean, that's promising. So what I'm gonna do is actually power it off and assemble. So head unit goes right to the stock locations. Grab some of these T20 Torques and do everything in reverse. Okay, radio's in, piece of trim comes in now. There's two T20s that secure the top of this. One and two. Done. Now we could go back to the top piece here. So in that went. Make sure the vents operate. Good. Two T20s secure this in. Secure. Now we put in the part of the vent here. Okay, so that is now secure. Last piece is the vent. This is the piece of trim that went up by the window over here. And then there's the little cover for the vent wheel, which I removed as well. That's it. We are done. So here's the car started. I did plug in my phone with the USB because that's a requirement for Apple CarPlay. But that's pretty typical of most OEM installs, if not just about all of them. So I'm gonna power up, and it paired with my phone because I have it plugged in. So there's music from my phone, which I'm not going to play because I don't want to violate any YouTube copyright infringement. But you can see Waze is showing up, my music, my telephone. There's Waze. So it's perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. This particular unit, like I said, I purchased on Amazon. The link will be in the description below. There are newer or more feature-rich units now as well. That have more buttons and stuff on the side, but this is what works for me. If you like this video, please hit the like button below, and I would really appreciate if you subscribe to this channel so I could continue to create content like this, where it's kind of like practical, easy stuff, and then, you know, stupid stuff with some of my crazy projects. Other than that, thank you very much.